Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Elizabeth Spraggins. I am the founder of All Joy Inspired and the owner of Digging from Darkness, Living in Light. Today is April 29th, 2023, and today we are going to talk about getting your self-esteem jacked. Totally jacked. Like your self esteem popped out of your head, went to the gym, did some curls and some squats, and it came back and it says, okay, I'm tired of being a punk. Now we're going to get our stuff together and we're going to stop making so many crappy decisions. Today is going to be an amazing show, you guys. A lot of positivity today, maybe a few laughs. We're going to have a good time. I've learned a few new things. I've been working really hard on getting better at the broadcasting thing. I decided finally to heed the advice of my mentor, Benny Maines out of Philadelphia, who is a broadcasting producer. Hi, Benny. Benny. Hi, Benny Maines. We love you, Benny. And I turned the music off. I did learn that that makes the sound of my voice come out a lot better. So who knew that the guy who's been doing this for 25 years actually knew what he was talking about? You live and you learn, right? So we're gonna get the show started. Today's broadcast has been pre-recorded, as you can see by the strappy sundress. It is supposed to be 100 degrees here in Las Vegas, and I am going to go home on this beautiful Saturday to enjoy my swimming pool and my dogs. So we're still on at 4 o'clock. My happy butt is probably swimming right now, but I'm sending you all my love and hoping you guys really enjoy today's show. I will read the comments and I will answer each and every one of you depending on whether or not it's appropriate. So we're going to talk about self-esteem. Why do we do so many dumb things? Why do we mess our lives up? Why do we get into arguments with people we really probably shouldn't? Why do we act like an a-hole sometimes? And why do we have a hard time keeping a relationship? If we have a negative self-esteem and it could be super deeply rooted inside you because of something that happened. If we've got a negative self-esteem, it's going to affect all of the areas of our life. So we are going to get started, you guys. I'm having so much fun. When you're trying as hard as you can to make changes in your... Oh, snap. Nope. We're going to do this now, right? Okay, hold on one sec. Totally going to do this because this is awesome. Ta-da! When you're trying as hard as you can to make changes in your life, to make your life happier, to make the people around you see that you're serious about moving forward beyond a troubled past, we can tell you that a negative self-esteem is the driving force behind all of the terrible things that you're trying to move on from. We're going to teach you how to recognize these habits and change them. Snap! Wow. See, I learned a new thing. Now you guys know that I'm not like doing anything illicit. Before we get started, I want to say hi to Beardo and all the guys and gals at Beard Vet Coffee. They're an amazing company. And I can't say enough positive things about these people. When nobody else in the world believed in me, they did. They didn't care what my past was about. All they cared was that I'm a good person. And they treat everyone like that, whether you're a veteran or not. Beardo and all the gals and guys at Beard Vet Coffee, it's an amazing company, owned and operated by veterans. Please check them out. Okay. Now, where we're going to get started, what are the signs of a negative self-esteem, of a low self-esteem? And let's just get this out of the way. Having a negative self-esteem doesn't make you some kind of loser. It doesn't. It just means that you've taken a few hits to your identity. You've been beaten up by life a few times. And if you're like me and you're a grown-up, you've been through some things in life, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. So yeah, it's natural that if you've been through some trauma, it could possibly affect the way that you think about yourself. Self-esteem is how you view who you are and how you view your worth to the world around you. And if you've been through some things, it just makes sense that, your self-esteem might take a few hits. Okay, what are some signs of low self-esteem? Well, if you are somebody or somebody you know, constantly blaming other people for the nasty things or the bad things happening in your life. Ugh. We all know somebody like that. They make a mistake at work. It wasn't their fault, right? It was so-and-so's fault. Or if they get sick, it's not because they eat garbage food or maybe they drink, a fifth of whatever every day. So their health is not their responsibility. It's not their problem. It's not their fault. Or, oh, here's an example. Bartender made my drinks too strong and I didn't think I'd have a problem driving. Instead of, I was hoping the alcohol wore off enough for me to drive. I was wrong to get behind the wheel. Somebody who's always blaming someone else, right? Or, not that I would personally know in my marriage right now, but if your spouse has an affair, it wasn't my fault. I was drunk. It wasn't my fault. He was flirty with me. I don't know. That was kind of crappy. They're all really crappy reasons to cheat. But it's just somebody who blames other people for their problems and people, to make somebody else accept responsibility of what's going on. Or if you've another sign of low self-esteem is that you have trouble asking for help. Normally you would think that this is a sign of strength, right? I can do it all on my own. I'm going to figure it out. I don't need anybody's help. I don't need anybody. You ever see somebody like that in an argument, maybe in a movie or, in public? I don't need you. I can do it myself. I I've done this so many times. By the way, I'm a little weirded out by not having music playing in the background. It's a little weird for me. So my attention deficit is just roaring right now. Trouble asking for help is what happens when people feel like a burden and they don't want people to think that you're a loser, right? Needing help makes someone with low self-esteem feel incompetent or weak. And that's just not the case. I mean, we don't know everything. Everyone starts somewhere. And what smarter way to do something than to ask someone who's already done it, right? Asking for help doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you a loser. It makes you intelligent, right? An example of that would be I can't figure out how to fix a mistake I made while arguing with my spouse. If I tell my spouse I want to get help, I'm afraid my spouse will lose respect for me. I feel so stupid. That's what someone with a negative self-esteem would say. After your self-esteem takes a few steps up, maybe you in that situation would say, I did something really awful and I made my spouse feel bad. I love my spouse more than my shame, and I'm going to get help. That's what a loving partner does. Right. Right. Sometimes there are visible signs of low self-esteem, and sometimes there are not so obvious signs that somebody may be suffering. And low self-esteem is a form of suffering. It is a painful way to live. It really is. And you find yourself constantly second guessing yourself. Some of the visible signs are when somebody's shy, meaning I don't want to dance. People are going to laugh at me, right? Oh, you men are famous for this, by the way. Women love to go dancing. If you're a married man and things are a little stale, take your woman dancing. She loves to dance. Women love to dance with their men. Love it. Or maybe fear of failure. I'm not going to own my own business. It's just too hard, and I wouldn't know what to do. Because they're afraid they're going to fail. A lot of people I know. Why would I possibly open my own business? That doesn't make any sense. You have a hard time accepting compliments. Ladies, you are more guilty about this than the men. Women have a hard time accepting compliments because I think women are much harder on themselves with regards to their looks. So if a man were to compliment you and say, "Hey girl, hey, you look good today." Some women with low self-esteem might not be able to say thank you and be on your way, right? Be on your way. Or, the common response to a woman who has a hard time accepting compliments when her mate, her spouse says, "You look good today." And, someone with a lower self-esteem might say, "This old thing? Oh, stop. I just threw this on." Say thank you. If someone gives you a compliment, it's okay to say thank you. I appreciate that. And then move on. It's not so hard. Ooh, or maybe another more visible sign of having low self-esteem is being a people pleaser. Oh. And again, I said this last week. It seems like such a crappy thing to say when someone is working so hard to give so much. But the reason that they do these things in place of taking care of themselves, that's the key to it. Someone who's a people pleaser lacks boundaries, which means people tend to walk all over people pleasers. Someone who is a people pleaser might say, if I go out of my way to be fun, people will want to hang around me. Maybe that means doing things they don't like. Maybe that means treating themselves a way that they normally wouldn't. Or if I'm easy to get into bed, he'll love me. A lot of the younger women, before they get to my age, before we figured this out, right? A lot of the younger women think that in order to get into a relationship, they need to give up their values or how they feel their intimacy should be distributed. It's just not the case. Or maybe for others, if I've got to stay late at work so my boss will stop being mean to me. Meaning if you go out of your way and allow your boss or your job to treat you like garbage, you're trying to get points ahead. But the truth of the matter is, no, you don't let people walk all over you, especially in situations like that where your supervisor or your boss should know better than to treat you like crap, right? Woo! Oh, snap. Oh, did I mess this up? I'm so I am so twisted. I am so Oh, wow. I'm so twisted by not having music playing. Benny, I appreciate you so much right now. Yeah. Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it. Okay. Thanks you guys for being patient with me. I am so I Oh, the not so obvious. Yeah, I totally wrecked that. I wrecked that. Okay. But now you know what some of the signs are of low self-esteem. We're moving on. Okay, let's do this. Oh, I don't There are particular traits. Nah. Okay. Oh, okay. I don't know what I'm doing. Aw. All right. To make us feel bad about ourselves. And in order to get a hold of these thoughts and then to transform them, we need to know what they are first. So we're going to talk about certain major life events or changes in identity that can have you feeling less than wonderful about who you are. Okay, Beardo. Beardo, you guys make a kick-ass coffee. I may or may not have enjoyed more than one cup of this today. My sleep has been totally wrecked. Okay, it is Saturday, you guys, and it is date night, which puts me in a great mood because I get to spend the evening with my wonderful, loving husband who makes it a point to make every Saturday night awesome for the two of us. So, once you understand that there are visible and not so obvious signs of having a low self esteem, what do you do next? Okay, it just makes sense. Well, you've got to stop yourself because if you're having constant problems in life, chances are it's knocked you around a little bit. And what helps is when you identify the things that are making you feel bad. I mean, is it something at work and school that just gets you tense and it just makes you feel crappy about yourself? Um, or maybe an unexpected emergency at work or at home, like you have a really fallout argument with your spouse. Somebody leaves the house and sleeps somewhere else for that day or whatever. Or maybe getting laid off. Maybe they're having cutbacks, or maybe you made a terrible mistake at work and you lost your job. Um, or being taken advantage of by people who will not accept no for an answer. There are a lot of people like that in the world these days who just want to prey upon people who are good natured and generous with their time and their resources. There are a lot of people like that. But you don't have to suffer having a lack of boundaries in order for people to like you. You can be firm in your beliefs and firm in your standards of how you require to be treated. Or maybe there is a major life event. Major event, I believe, is the number one reason people's self-esteem gets just assassinated. You know, okay? If you're my age, if you're in the middle of your life and your children are all grown up now and they leave home, and having kids, like, it consumes everything that you do, every decision that you make. whether it be at home, at work, with friends, everything you do, those kids are in the back of your mind. So what happens when those kids grow up and they move out? Wow, I can tell you from experience, it completely wrecks your identity. Completely. My youngest moved out, oh God, 4 years ago? I had my kids early. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I had my kids earlier and oh God, so it was 4 years ago, so I think I was 41, just getting ready to be 42 when my youngest moved out. Yeah, totally had my kids early. It was amazing. Yeah, that can definitely throw a person for a loop, men and women. Or for men, erectile dysfunction. It can absolutely screw with your self-esteem because a lot of men relate their ability to be intimate to their value as a man. And I don't blame you for that. I really don't. I get it. I do. I was an intimate entertainer in one way or another for many years, and I've seen the effects of what impotency, what it does to men. I see what it does to men, and it is one of the reasons that men seek companions to see if their erectile dysfunction can be resolved. So I understand, but that absolutely has an effect on a man's self esteem. Or maybe for the ladies, menopause, whether it be surgical or maybe it's just that time. But sometimes when a woman's position in her life cycle changes, it can really feed these negative, dark, hateful self thoughts. And I can tell you, as somebody who's not quite at menopause yet, but I'm seeing things happen where it's coming. I know it is. And you know what? People need to stop being ashamed about that because erectile dysfunction is a medical condition. Menopause is a medical stage of life. These things happen. Stop being ashamed of it. You would never give a girl a hard time for getting her period, right? No, no. Menopause is just the opposite. That's all it is. We need to be able to talk about this as a society. Or maybe somebody passed away. I, I've I've seen a few people die, especially in the last 3 years. I've had some people close to me die. Uh, and depending on who it is and the conditions and circumstances of their death, that can really mess you up. It can absolutely mess you up, especially if you feel guilty. You have guilt about their passing, or bankruptcy. Bankruptcy can mess anybody up. It will absolutely change how you think about yourself, how you think about the people around you, how you think about your future. Bankruptcy is another major life event, or divorce, but I've been through so many of those. I'm practically unaffected by it now. I'm kind of joking a little bit. But it's important that you identify the things that make you feel bad about yourself. Not just feel bad in general, but actually feel bad about who you are. For instance, bankruptcy can make you feel like you're never going to get your stuff together. And I can't say because Benny's going to give me a talking to. I love you, Benny. You're awesome, Benny. I trust you, Benny. And I'm hoping this sounds better. But bankruptcy can make you feel like a failure, can make you feel like you're not worthy of being responsible for a business or a family. If you're a family and, husband, wife, mom, dad, or caretaker, and you need to file bankruptcy because you lost your job or maybe you made some mistakes with your money and that event comes to your doorstep, you might feel powerless and hopeless and feel like a terrible person for letting your family down or your business. Okay. And then the menopause thing, I won't go into that because I know there are a lot of men out there and you're just kind of like, huh? Do we have to talk about the uterus right now? Yeah, we're talking about erectile dysfunction too. These are natural events in life, and people need to stop being ashamed about them. And the way you stop being ashamed about them is you talk about them. I raised my boys and my all three of my kids. Hold on one second. Coffee break. Damn, that's good. I raised all of my kids to understand what it was that I used to do for a living. And for those of you who are new to me, my name is Elizabeth Spraggins, but I am a person who formerly played the character Alora Jensen, which was an intimate entertainer. And yes, my offspring knew it. They absolutely knew what I did, but I raised them to be able to talk to their family, to be able to talk to their mother and their father. And I did that by telling them the moment you feel shame about something is the moment something has control of you. And the moment you start talking about something casually and more easily, the less power that that thing has over you. So the more you talk about it, the more in control you are of it. So my kids, now adults, learn to talk about the most difficult topics, whether it be money, sexuality, or love, or fear. In all of these things that a lot of teenagers have trouble talking to their families about, my kids were taught that it's perfectly natural and it's actually a good thing to talk about difficult subjects. So we're going to talk about difficult things in a casual way so you don't have to feel shame about them when you experience them in your life. Menopause, perfectly natural thing. Erectile dysfunction, it's a perfectly natural thing. Yes, these things happen. Okay, we're moving on. We are, wow, moving at lightning speed today. We're going to take a quick sponsorship break because we got to pay some bills, yo. But before we do, I want to let you guys know there is a bit of an update to our AllJOYInspired.store. For AllJOYInspired.com, it is a life coaching service. And what it is we provide a sliding scale or even pro bono work for those people who are seriously in need who may have a hard time affording the services. It's decided on a case by case basis, but all of your purchases at the AllJOYInspired.store help to contribute the support that these people who are having hard times need. So, with that, here we go. Oh, snap. At All Joy Inspired Store, we have a variety of gifts to give to someone who's making changes. Make them smile, whether that be a t-shirt or a funny coffee mug or even something inspirational. Our customer service is always standing by, and of course, we are a proud supporter of Beard Vet and Beard Vet products. All Joy Inspired Store, thank you for supporting our mission. Hey, AllJOYInspired.store, yo. Seriously, there's some fun stuff in there. I mean, of course, we've got the brand name and all of the educational tools that I would recommend for my students or my clients. But there's some fun stuff in there because sometimes when life is like super hard and you're working really, really hard to, get somewhere, you need a laugh or maybe just a reminder, hey, good job. You can find all of that in AllJOYInspired.store. Now, once we recognize the events that can make us feel like crap about ourselves, what do you do then? Okay, what do you do then? Well, let's move forward, shall we? Yeah. One day you're going to wake up and you're going to get real. All right, hold on. I did this fancy thing. Here we go. Get real tired of being a punk to all of these negative thoughts. I said it's totally up to you to tell these negative thoughts, nah, you got to go. I'm done. Yeah. Yeah. Fear. F everything and run, or face everything and rise. It was very early on in life that I decided I got tired of getting beat up, quite literally beat up. And when I was much younger, I was viciously bullied, and I mean vicious. I was beat up by boys and girls until I was about 15. I was tortured as a younger person. And then one day, things changed. But that burned in my brain that I'm not going to be anybody's bitch. And you don't have to be anybody's bitch either. You can everything and run, or you can look your problem in the eye and say, is that the best you got? Because I've been through worse, and this is no different. And if I don't know the answer now, I'm going to eventually have the answer. So it's okay for you to be afraid. Stand there and look these thoughts in the eyes. When you are starting to feel bad about yourself, and one of the famous things that all of you ladies and some of you guys can relate to is when you're trying to lose weight and maybe it's not working out the way that you hoped. And you start hearing yourself thinking, I really suck at this. I am so fat. I'm really unattractive right now. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. Or for you guys or, others, when you're in the bedroom with your partner and maybe things didn't go as successfully as, the both of you had hoped for one reason or another. And maybe your partner says something really shitty to you and you start to doubt your ability to please someone romantically, intimately. That's it right there. Or you get in trouble at work because you didn't get an assignment right. And you, excuse me, are wondering to yourself, maybe I'm not right for this job. Oh, right there. That's a no. So make it a point to notice how you are thinking, how you are talking to yourself. And are you, ooh, did I do that right? Shit, I don't think I did that right. Did I? Oh, yep. Okay, I did. I guess I did. Make it a point to hear your thoughts to yourself, how you're talking to yourself. Ladies, you are especially guilty of this. I am getting so old. Oh my God, I need a facelift. Or, my stomach. I hate my stretch marks. I want to get a tummy tuck. Or, my thighs are getting kind of chubby. I better work out. Stop saying that to yourself. Or for you guys, some of you experience some hair changes and you're thinking to yourself, I better wear a hat when I go out with my friends. I don't want to be the bald guy, I mean, just these are negative thoughts to yourself. Realize that this is happening and it's probably happening right now. Although you're probably looking at me and thinking, would you just be quiet, Elizabeth? This is kind of dull. And I'm trying not to be dull right now. Your body hears your spirit, hears your heart, and hears your body will manifest the language that you say to yourself, even in your head. It has been proven in clinical trials and people who were gurus and all kinds of studies and all this happy stuff. Google it if you don't believe me. Google it if you don't believe me. When you speak negatively to yourself, your body manifests stress. It will manifest aches and pains and sometimes diseases because the brain chemicals are releasing all of this stress stuff into your body. It's called cortisol. But it's releasing all of this stuff into your body and it can make you sick. Stop talking negatively to yourself. Ladies, if you've had babies, do you think men actually give a crap about stretch marks? Ugh. I was nude on camera for at least 11 years, and I was an entertainer nude in one way or another for another 4 before that. Men do not care about stretch marks. They don't. They think you're gorgeous, ladies. They're just happy to be able to look at you in your natural, unclothed state. Stretch marks are beautiful. And in fact, I've had a few reach out and tell me they were exciting. So, yeah, if you're coming down on yourself, ladies, stop that. And for you guys too. You guys, I've known a few of you to get down on yourselves. I've known a few of you. Stop talking to yourself like that. Are your ideas based on, are they good thoughts? Are they bad thoughts? Or are they neutral? What do I mean by that? I'm feeling kind of cute today. I'm feeling kind of cute. It's about 100 degrees in Las Vegas right now. So I wore, a summer dress to the office today. Of course, there's nobody here and I would never parade around like this, but I figured, what's the harm? And then I caught myself thinking, well, my arms are still a little chubby. They're a little soft. I mean, I just had my pec muscle repaired a few months ago and I'm still a little shy about putting some weight on it. I'm working on it. But that negative thought, my arms are too fat to be wearing this dress. Hmm. Or are they neutral? Wow, this color is amazing. The color, I love the color of the dress. It makes me feel bright and energetic. So that's not something about me. Think and listen to your thoughts. What are you saying to yourself? Are they based on facts? Do I have any business wearing this dress if my arms are not slim and toned? The facts say I can wear whatever dress I want to because an article of clothing does not care what body is in it, right? Right? Or is it based on false ideas that maybe I should lose more weight before I wear something I think is pretty, right? Ladies, ladies, if for whatever reason your haircut didn't turn out the way you wanted, are you rushing to the wig store? I mean, I did. I would. And then one day I just said, you know what? We're going to be natural in our skin. Or for you guys, go into the pool, maybe to the beach. Are you feeling a little insecure about, your abdomen? Because I know a lot of guys are sensitive about their midsection. Women don't care. We don't care. Especially mature, experienced women do not care if you've got six pack. They just don't care. What women care for or what partners care for, are you a good person? Can you laugh about life and can you encourage someone else to laugh? Are you kind? Stop being superficial. So false ideas are what feed a negative self-esteem, actually make it worse. Okay. These good thoughts, these bad thoughts, these neutral thoughts. If you're finding yourself saying a lot of nasty things to you in whatever situation that may be, ask yourself, these thoughts I'm having right now about my body or my worth, is this something I would say to a child? Is this something I would say to my best friend? Would you leave wherever it is that you are right now and go out to a stranger on the street and say, you really have no business wearing that? Or I see that you don't have a lot of money in your wallet. Wow, you're a fucking loser, right? I'm sorry. F word. Yeah. I know, Benny. I know. But are these things that you say to yourself? Would you say them to somebody you love? I mean, maybe you might, but that just makes you a D. Like, I wouldn't say these things to a kid, especially, a vulnerable person. Would you say these things to your grandma? No. No, you would not. Okay. So once you recognize these thoughts that you're having about yourself, what do you do next? Oh, wait, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to wake up and you're going to get real tired of being a punk to all of these negative thoughts. It is totally up to you to tell these negative thoughts, nah, you got to go. I'm done. Okay, I actually think wait, where did it go? Where did it go? I'm not in here. Okay, one second. I don't know what I just did. I'm still learning all the buttons because I've been doing this now for a few months and there's like a ton of buttons with this. And I'm like clicking on stuff and I discovered all of this by accident today. Uh, so we are going to challenge your negative thinking. We are going to challenge your negative thinking. Oh, hold on one second. Are your thoughts based on fear or facts? Yeah, it is super weird for me not having music on, by the way. Are these thoughts, these negative thoughts, are they based on fear or are they based on actual reality? And a lot of times you will find that the crappy things we say to ourselves, that we think about ourselves, they're not real. Baby, you can have stretch marks on your stomach and still be sexy to a man. Or guys, you don't have to have a six pack. Or ladies, maybe you're recently divorced and you're worried that nobody's going to want to date you. Or guys and girls, maybe you have some trouble with money and you're thinking, nah, I can't open a business. Why would I do that? I'm terrible with money. I'm going to mess it up. Are these based on fear or are these thoughts based on fact? Anybody can make a change. Right. So we are going to challenge negative thinking. If you deal with absolutes, if I don't win this game, I'm a total failure. We know somebody who does that. We all know someone who does this. It's all or nothing. Stop doing that. It's not true. It is not reality that if you lose the game, you're a total failure, right? Mental filtering. I got a DUI and now everyone will think I have a drinking problem. I mean, maybe some people will, but some people have a drink or two, and maybe that one time that they went out in 6 months, they got behind the wheel. They did a dumb thing and got a ticket, right? Not everyone, is going to think you have a drinking problem. It was a pretty dumb thing to do, but still, we move on. Life goes on, right? Or maybe you negative thinking is that you shortchange yourself. I only got the job because I have big boobs. Or my boss gave me a paid day off because he's going to fire me. He sent me home and said, take the day off. And the first thing in your head is, oh, they're going to let me go. Is that based on fact or is that based on reality? I mean, or on fear, right? Or negativity. Ladies, not everybody makes business decisions because you have boobs. I mean, sure, that could be part of it for some people, but there are professional folks out there, and the only reason you got the job could be because you're qualified. Possibly. Possibly. Right? Or mistaking feelings for facts. We're just going to take a minute. The current state of society and how some people mistake feelings for facts. Particular group of people shall remain nameless, but we all know who I'm talking about. That feelings equal facts. That is not the case of reality. I made a mistake and went to prison. I must belong there. Why even try? Why even try to go straight? Or, yeah, I gotta keep it PG, right? Okay. Or, I got in trouble with the law and I went to jail. And I'm such a screw up. Why even try to have a different life, right? Or maybe newly released are having a hard time finding opportunities because they don't know where to look and they don't have the support system to move beyond that part of their past. So they start feeling like maybe the only place they belong is back where they just came from. Not the case. Or that also applies to sex workers. They have a hard time moving beyond sex work because they don't see their opportunities elsewhere. And they feel like maybe the only thing they're good for is to go back to the sex work, which is what I do. I teach people to see opportunities where they exist. Or the negative self-talk. I am so fat, old/ugly. No one will want to date me. I deserve to be alone. Nobody wants me. I've had 3 kids. I've had several divorces. I'm a champion of divorce. Nobody's going to want to date me. I mean, I did sex work for 15 years. Who's going to want me? Right? Negative self-talk. Stop doing that to yourself. Stop it. All right, we're moving on. Hey, here we go. This is number 5. All right, I think I got this. Where are we at? Now that you know what nasty thoughts you got to get rid of, and now that they're gone, now we're going to tell you what to put in their place, how you can start feeling good about yourself. We are going to have the conversation that we've always been having, but this time we're going to be in charge. And this time, you are the star. You can totally tell I got really excited when I was shooting these, when I was creating these these graphics and videos. I got super amped because I'm like, yeah, girl, yeah, you are the star. Stop feeling bad about yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. We all go through life. We all experience different things. That doesn't mean that you have a reason to feel crappy about who you are. People make mistakes. People go through things. And you have the rest of your life to experience and appreciate the blessings and the joys around you. Oh my gosh. Like right now, all I can think about is how sunny and warm it is outside and how, yeah, I'm a little plus size. This year I'm a little plus size. I went through a devastating set of injuries almost a year ago, and I'm about 80% recovered from them. And it took months and months of surgeries to get myself back together. But do you think I'm excited to put on a 2-piece around my husband? Heck yeah, I am, because he doesn't care about the scars. He doesn't care about the stretch marks. I want to go home and I want to put a bathing suit on and look cute for my man. Shoot. It's it's about changing your beliefs. Once you know what it is that you're doing to yourself, replace it with something new. And here's what I mean by that. Use hopeful statements. Hopeful statements. Okay, I know this is hard. Learning this program was freaking impossible for me. I'm a techno idiot. Like see, this is negative self-talk. Are you hearing this? Are you hearing this? Are you learning? Are you picking up on these examples? I have a very difficult time learning things that have to do with technology because my language is science. My language is math. My language is people. But computers and I have had a history of difficulty with one another. So learning this program was really, really hard for me. And every time I learned something new, holy cow, that's a celebration, right? So instead of telling yourself, this is hard, I'm never going to figure this out, even though you might feel it, tell yourself, this is hard, but I'm really smart. I'm going to figure it out eventually. So let's enjoy the ride, right? Start changing the way you talk to yourself. Next one, and this is a big one. Forgive yourself. You're a person. People go through life on different paths, and sometimes their paths take them down darkness. That doesn't mean you have to stay there. If you made a mistake, it doesn't mean you have to, you're doomed to continue to make those mistakes. You made a mistake. There's nothing you can do about it. Move on. Enjoy what you have in front of you right now. And an example of that is I messed up at work. I betrayed somebody at work to get a promotion, and makes me a bad person. No, it doesn't make you a bad person. You did a D-bag thing. That doesn't mean that you're a bad person. So forgive yourself and move on. Move on. Try to make things right. Apologize in whatever way that you can, but move on. You don't have to do D-bag things in the future just because you made a rotten choice, right? Avoid should and must statements to yourself. Avoid should and must statements. I should really lose more weight. I mean, I'm going to be 46 this year and it's going to get harder for me to take off the pounds. And I I must be I must be getting old. I mean, it just must be what I'm doomed to be, right? I'm doomed to be an overweight middle-aged person. Am I really though? Yeah, like for you guys, and that super sensitive topic. If it happens to you once, well, that's it. If you have a bad date with someone intimately, that's it. I must be terrible in bed. No, no, you're not. No, it's not reality. Okay, I must be a loser because I didn't win the game. No, you're not. Somebody has to win, and if it's not you, it's going to be somebody else. Why does that make you a loser? Right? Focus on the positive. Sure, I gained weight, but you know what? I know how to lose it. And I will lose it eventually, right? Or my first couple of attempts to have a business didn't work out, but the last one did, and it's still going even though I'm doing very little with it. It's still operating, it's still generating, and this new business which I'm growing and I'm cultivating into be a powerhouse of a legacy I'm going to leave behind after my time on this earth is over. You focus on the positive stuff. Yeah, sure. I'm a little softer and I'm a little cushy, but I'm alive. I didn't lose any parts. I mean, they had to stitch everything back together on the inside and the out, but I'm here. I'm okay. Consider what you're meant to learn. Instead of coming down on yourselves, consider what you're supposed to learn about the event. What changes can you make from whatever mistake or thing that happened to avoid the same happening in the future, right? See negative thoughts as signals. I really don't want to sing karaoke on stage. What does that mean? It means you're afraid everybody's going to laugh at you. Why would everybody laugh at you? Right? When you start feeling crappy about yourself, see that as a signal that you're feeling bad about something and that you have a belief about yourself that's very possibly not true, right? I know a lot of people who give no Fs when they do karaoke. They have a few drinks, they get up there, and I swear there are dogs 3 towns over just having a fit. That's how bad some people sound. And I don't know every song either, but for someone to refuse to even try because they're just afraid people are going to laugh at them, first, what do you care if they laugh? They're not going to go home to you and tuck you in, right? You got to see them as signals. Maybe there's something else going on with you that you need to take care of. Find the silver lining. Oh, my daddy, may he rest in peace. He was super, super good at teaching me how to find the silver lining in just about everything. Everything, no matter how bad the situation was, even when it comes to people passing away. My father always taught me to pull a positive thought or memory or lesson out of that situation. I mean, an example of that could be I'm struggling with money right now, but I'm still paying some bills and I still have the ability to work. I will find a job. I will eventually get back on my feet, right? Or maybe my marriage ended, but I still have a lot to offer someone. I'm cute. Someone's going to want me. Maybe one day I'll fall back in love again. Focus on the silver lining, you guys. Okay, we are almost done for the day. You guys are doing so good. Here we go. Yo. I love the music. Benny, we got to figure out how I can have music happening for myself because I'm telling you what, I get so perked up when I hear the damn music. Now that you know, you're gonna listen to yourself. You're gonna catch yourself talking negatively, and then you're gonna figure out why. And then you're gonna replace it with positivity and things that are healthy and good for you that are gonna make your life seem awesome. It might be a little bit awkward at first, but I tell you, as a person who has transformed from being gravely depressed, gravely depressed for many years, and it is a clinical condition with me. It is a medical condition, but behavioral changes, behavioral patterns that I implemented have helped make that depression less of a grip on my joy. So I can tell you, as somebody who actively navigates depression, thinking positively in one way or another, in the ways that I described, will really make a huge difference in your everyday life. Excuse me. In addition to the positivity, in addition to the behavioral changes of your thinking and of your understanding of yourself and your world, get your nutrition in check. If your body isn't balanced or if you're feeding your body bad stuff, and by bad stuff, we all know what I'm talking about. If you're not eating the best, eat better. Your body's going to feel better. Your brain's going to be balanced. Your hormones are all going to be, flowing. And medical conditions that you may or may not have aren't going to be as much of a problem for you if you feed your body good food. Go to the library, Google it if you're having a hard time. Talk to your doctor. Exercise. Not everybody is able to go to the gym because of your schedule or your physical abilities, not able to go work out. But exercise can simply be something like going for a walk or move your arms around if you are chair bound, right? Move your arms around. Getting any kind of movement going for a few minutes at a time is going to get your blood pumping, is going to get things moving through your veins. And it could, maybe make you feel kind of good later on when the lights go down and you're with your special someone. Got a little extra kick of energy. Excuse me. Make a list of things that you love to do. Love to do. Before life kicked your ass, what did you love to do? What made you happy? What made you joyful? Start doing those things again. You've got no excuse. If you're sitting on the sofa watching hours of television, get your butt up out of that sofa and go do something you love to do. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You owe no apologies. If your spouse wants to sit on the sofa and waste life away, no matter how hard you try, go do something for yourself. Go to the arts and crafts store and get a big canvas, like 5 feet tall, and just start painting that MFer with some colors and some charcoals. Have a good time with it. Or maybe pick up one of those electronic keyboards, at Goodwill or something, and just start messing around with sound. There's so much you can do that is fun, and you may discover your new favorite hobby. Cleanse your circle. Some of you got to get this in check. You got to get rid of people in your life who are bent on making you miserable or keeping you miserable. When I first started to move beyond doing adult work, there were a lot of nasty, mean people who made it a point to tell me, you'll never be anything but that. And I'm like, yeah, that's not true. that's not true. I mean, it's just not. And I actually know that. But some people who may not believe their value to move beyond something, to move beyond a time in their life or a mistake that they've made, they may hear those words from these people trying to keep them stuck in that negativity and that nasty memory, and won't want them to move forward because they can control you when you feel bad about yourself. People can manipulate you when you feel worthless or unwelcome or unloved, because they believe that will make you appreciative of the crappy way that they treat you. Again, we're not going to name names, but there are people walking around these days, maybe in your neighborhood, who want to keep everybody else in a certain state of mind so they can act like fools and do bad things. Yeah. Cleanse your circle of people that want you to stay stuck. Get rid of them. They're no good. Okay, you guys. It is Saturday, April 29th, 2023. My name is Elizabeth Spraggins. I am the founder of AllJOYInspired and the owner of Digging from Darkness, Living in Light. Before we go today, I want to say thank you to all of you out there. I genuinely appreciate you listening to what I have to say. You may or may not agree, but I appreciate you listening. What I do at AllJOYInspired gives me a sense of purpose. It makes me feel like a good person to help people through their tough times, to find their way to the other side. So if you're having a rough patch in life and you're not quite ready to move forward with life coaching, you are invited to join Digging from Darkness, Living in Light. It is a Facebook group. It is private, and no one will know what you say if you post anonymously. So with that, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Please don't drink and drive. Call for a ride. Too many people getting in trouble or getting hurt these days. I will see you guys next week at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time across multiple channels. Have a great day, guys.